Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guten Tag, bonjour, and welcome to this live stream of the 2024 Summer Tour hosted by the EUF. We are getting right into the action with Nullacht taking on Sesquidistus in the mixed division. Nullacht playing in their black and red kit, Sesqui in the whites. We've seen an initiation play from a split stack. Discon hand of Ancelin rips a flick to the break side. Hangs up there. Nice high take. Going over the defender. As we get this game started right away. Ancelin to Sokolski. A combination that has been working for this team for many times. Two players knowing each other very well. And we're here in the final day of competition here at the Summer Tour. We're at the Freiburg edition in Germany. There's in total 8 Summer Tours hosted by the EUF. In total, 6 of them happening all at the same time this weekend. And lots of the action is happening right now and brought to you from wherever you might be watching. So make sure to definitely tune in this game. It's going to be an exciting one, but lots of final placement games happening later today, both at this location but also at other locations. See the flick pull. Always like to see that. Although we do not like to see an out of bounds pull as Nullacht start their possession at the brick mark. Also opting to go for a split stack. Let's see what side they'll initiate. It's going to be the left side, the 2-person side. Classic play. Now swinging it back to the other side. Skinny inside shot, nice layout grab to secure that catch. Lovely leading back and throw, continuing, hangs up there, 2 players underneath it. Nice take. Jonathan O'Monday, also known in the Frisbee community as John Coffey, the, I would say, famous Frisbee photographer. Makes some great shots and is now in the action himself instead of on the sideline with a camera. Always with a smile on his face. Very difficult to dislike that person. So yeah, we're in semifinal contention right now. Both these teams have had a pretty good tournament and also pretty good season so far. Sesquidistus in 3rd place in the overall ranking at the moment, just behind Tisa Taucher and Deep Space. Nullacht having a good season themselves as well. Always sort of around the 10th-ish position in the ranking, maybe a bit lower. I've been, as you see Sesquidistus go deep, it's the same connection once again, and it works just again. Just to finish it up in the end zone. So Sokolsky getting involved early. This time dishing it to Baratin. So yeah, Nullacht just in that 10 to like 14th kind of ranking. They've climbed up from 15th earlier in August to 11th now, so an upward trend. And really, this will be a very good opportunity for them to match themselves with some of the top teams. Only taking a loss yesterday to Disconnection. It's a direct competitor of them, also from Germany. It's currently playing in the other semifinal against Düsseldorf. So a lot of top teams in the summer tour. As we see Nullacht moving it down the sideline. Lovely point. And what I particularly like about that, and almost seems like a bit of a copy from the Gut playbook. Gut, the mixed team that I've been playing for, co-founded and played for about 10 years. Won our significant share of European championships. So knowing what it's like to be in this position to playing at this level. What I like about that play in particular is that it's initiated from a split stack. You have that's two mill matching players on the left side. They initiated from them. Um, they got one undercut. The follow up wasn't there, and then they swung it to the other side, and then they really were good at isolating in so-called gender pots, as you could say, because there are three female matching players on the split side on the break side, and after they initiated on the left, they swung it back to the middle, and then they just kept the flow of the offense going to the right side, and that's a good way to um, really isolate players and make sure they can continue and flow off each other and limit the amount of poaches, which is a very important part of mixed ultimate, as both these teams are, I'm sure, very well aware of. So we see an undercut, maybe a slight little push off call. The Sesquidistus player got an under. Now they decided to talk to each other while standing next to each other. Maybe a bit easier. I saw that play developing. There was definitely some contact that I saw. I'm not sure it was really intentionally pushing off or very much affecting that cut. But it's good to get those calls early in the game so you can sort of establish the amount of physicality that both teams are okay with or not okay with. So this will go back. So you see a scoop cut from Ancelin. He goes for that inside flick back to the middle. Now moving it forward. And it's another scoop cut. They need to do their scouting a bit. We all know that if you watch a couple games of Ancelin, that he loves that little scoop cut. As he goes for it for a third time, this time laying out for the score. Just trying to do like a crawl after, maybe wishing he was in the Olympics. So yeah, definitely early notes I think for Nullacht is figuring out that matchup for the Ancelin matchup, and we know how dominant he can be on the field. has done that for many years for this team, but also the French national teams. He played a good role and good part in the Mooncatcher Open team that went to Worlds in 2022. Had that famous foot block against Dylan Freechild in that semifinal or quarterfinal, I believe. So yeah, definitely a matchup that many opponents will be struggling with. But yeah, that scoop cut, that up the line cut is definitely his primary option, and that's definitely something that they have to take away initially. Nullacht initiating again from a split stack, going with a bit of a hander dominated set to start with. Going around to Heze. Little forward pass, goes for that up line again, fumbles it, just jumped out of the hand. And now Sesku with a early opportunity for a break. Good defense here from Nullacht. Clamping down, forcing Sesku back, even more back. Just lost about 30 meters and they gain it right away with one pass. Another pass to the end zone, and that's it. Just as you think, Nullacht is tightening the screws. Sesku was just creating some space for themselves to attack that break side. And it really was the inside shot that set that up. And then it was an easy continue. So as I said, both these teams are definitely looking good in terms of their ranking points and their chances of making it to the ECF. I mean, for Sesquidistus, you can, I mean, I don't want to jinx anyone, but you can pretty much say with certainty that they've got their ticket secured for the ECF. Nullacht is looking pretty good. The cutoff between them and the 17th position, which is just outside of the ranking, is about 180 points. So it's quite some ranking points that I would say they if they nothing happens nothing crazy happens, they should be good. But again, they're playing against a top team, so they definitely want to stay as close to this team as possible. So see a nice up the line, fading it to the break side. No one's there except the receiver. That's what you call easy money. So that was Ackermann to Schenk. And so if you go to the ranking system app in on your browser or on your phone, on the app, it's ranking.ultimatefederation.eu. You can see all the divisions, all the teams, all the games. You can see many things. Definitely check that out if you haven't. Most interestingly for this part of the season is obviously the matchup tab, and especially for a team like Nullacht, where they still have to fight for their ranking bids. If you go to the matchup tab and you go Sesquidistus to Nullacht, the expected score or predicted score by the algorithm is 15 to 11.8 for Sesquidistus. So the algorithm predicts that Sesku should beat Nullacht 15 to about 15 to 12. Let's say 15-12. So that's sort of the the base point that both these teams are trying to work towards, meaning that Nullacht will obviously try to win this game first and foremost. But if they don't, they can still gain points if they can stay within 2 or 3 points of. As we see an inside shot from Sesky, nicely taken. Good poach. That was not a poach actually, just a good interception. So as I was saying, Nullacht will just try to stay as close as possible, and even if they, let's say, they do lose this game, 15-14 or 13, they can still move up into the ranking. Um, Obviously, winning this game, as we see an around shot, almost a Kala, and I'm not sure why he didn't lay out for that. I mean, the turnover was secured, but perfect moment to cast some glory on the stream. Instead, goes for the around. Would have loved to see some help D right there. It's clear that this was the initiation. Kind of left the Nullacht defender all out there on his own, and in the front of the end zone with a good thrower. Um, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna lose that matchup. So yeah, for both these teams, still lots to play for, and obviously, if they win this game, they're gonna face either TC Tauge or Disconnection in the final, and the winner of that final is also gonna get a bid. So then it doesn't matter what your ranking is. If you win a summer tour, you're gonna get the straight wild card to go to the ECF anyways. Nullacht back on offense. Again, they opting to go for that split stack. This time running a, I know that play. As we go deep, nicely put. Not sure where they got that play from. Definitely played it a lot last year with Truck Stop. Very effective play to go with the 3-2 setup. The three on the left side, and in this case had two female matching players in the back of the stack. So as the 2 and the 3, and the 1 was a male matching player. The 2 and the 3 clear to the middle, and then usually if you play a split stack, that 1 is getting fronted. So we have slight advantage going deep in that scenario. Nicely executed. Got a good backhand hook in there. Again, that was Schenk with the goal. Second one today. Schreiber with the assist. And now we are going to have another look at this Nullacht D-line. See if they can convert this time, or at least get a block first and then get that break back that they gave up earlier. Anselm takes off. That looks like a perfect disc. Can he get there? Of course he can. Slowing down into the defense over there. Simple as that, isolation play. It's a nice put by Lebert. But again, I would love to see some defensive adjustments here from Nullacht, trying to prevent those one-on-one matchups, as yeah, Cisco seems to take advantage of them. This tournament had the 12 teams, 4 pools of 3, I believe. Sesku winning that pool, and Nullacht just about getting second, only losing to Disconnection, who is now, as I said, in that other semi-final as we speak. So see another split stack initiation, but this time Sesku, they're trying to prevent that deep shot coming up, so they're putting up this zone. Nice stepping through. That's a lot of traveling right there, but it's not getting called. Nice inside shot. Just a 3-person wall and sort of a diamond shape in the backfield, or downfield. That's a transition to matchup defense. Akaman completely left alone. Finally he gets it, but not a lot of yardage gained by that throw. So we see a lot of contact on that dump or on that mark. Nullacht trying to find their way through. Accepted foul. Let's go back to Ackermann. Swings it to the front of the end zone to Schreiber. Meanwhile, in the other semifinal, Tisa Taucher leading Disconnection 3-2. Maybe that game started a bit later, or maybe just a very sloppy, low-scoring game. But so far, it's been an interesting one there. Disconnection starting off 2-0, and then Tisa Taucher scoring the next 3. So interesting to see how that one develops as we get a look here at a point for a half. Or I think, no, almost not. I think it's 6-5 just now. Ansalan picks up. We see a sweep play from a horizontal stack from D. Very deep stack. Sesku nicely taken there near the sideline. Using everyone involved. Love to see it. Sokolski to the middle to Ansalan. And he finishes the play. Contested catch, but well taken by Maton. So we don't see any real sweat so far from the Sesku O-line. They turn it over once and got it back almost instantly. So haven't really been in trouble yet. As I'm not sure if they're taking a timeout or just no. I don't think they are. Just going to the line in a steady pace. So yeah, definitely check out all the action that this week has to offer, with lots of games. We're on the live stream this weekend, and they will be available on Solid Sports as soon as the game is finished, actually, so you can watch back all the games from this weekend that have been streamed. And of course, the most important thing to watch is tomorrow evening at, I think, 8 p.m. Central European Time. It's the last episode of the regular season from In or Out, with the definite ranking going into the EUCF. So all those teams that are on the border of making the EUCF or not will be anxiously waiting and watching that episode of In and Out hosted by Rafi Vasdevan. Very excited to see. And in pretty much all divisions, there are some definitely interesting tight matchups in that cutoff area. So we see an injury call from Nullacht. I think that's Simon Hase, just I think tweaking his ankle in some way. Hopefully he's going to be okay soon. As disc is exceptionally caught, down called. There was Lena Schäfer. Nicely fair-minded from the Sesquidistus player. Thought he was down, but got corrected by his teammate on the sideline, and thus retracting that down call as we continue with Nullacht. Good switch from Sesquidistus defender. Goes up line. Nicely put into space. Looking for that fade to the break set again. Instead goes for the up line. Nicely taken. A Schenk again. To Greve. It's good to see the female matching players getting more involved. I feel like a couple points this game. Nullacht was playing a lot with their male matching players, playing a little bit of dude ball, as we say in the mixed division, which don't particularly am a fan of personally, especially with the very capable female matching players that Nullacht has, as we can see in a couple of points already. As both teams take a quick break, take a quick timeout. Let's have a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back as soon as the play continues. Welcome back to the action here in Freiburg in this close battle between Sesquidistus and Nullacht Ultimate. Nullacht from Münster in the western part of Germany, and Sesquidistus from Strasbourg, which is on the border of the it's like I think on the German-French border. So we go deep right away. There's a poached defender in there. And that's some throw that Sesquidistus wished they had back, as Nullacht with a crucial opportunity to take that break back to make it Galaxy point to stay in commentary terms. Nice handler movement now with a big gainer. That's a lovely cut. She's trying to find an option. That's Schäfer again. Had that lovely layout catch earlier. Throws the blade. That's a nice find in a high stall situation. Nullacht needs to be very careful here and be clinical. Swinging it around the back. High release flick. I'm not sure if that was the intended target, but it's going to work out anyways. That's a huge break. Sesquidistus players look each other in the eye. Not sure what happened there. I wasn't sure either. The high release flick just over the head of the Sesquid defender. Found its way to the end zone. And that's a big break for Nullacht, as they tie things up at 7. Schenk again with the assist. Putting his fingerprints all over this game so far. 2 assists and 2 goals for this German side. As the German sideline is getting loud at this Galaxy point, the point for half. Sesquid with again the sweep from D, nicely executed. Continuing up to Maton. Maton looking for the around, finds Sokolski. Almost trips over the line. Gale trying to juke himself open. Nicely defended, but finally gets that reset. Goes for the inside. Barentin fix the inside, goes for Ancelin instead. Goes for the up line. Barentin continues to the far side. Good defense here by the Germans, and a nicely pressured inside shot as they go deep right away. They're trying to take half. It's slightly short and nicely recovered from Barentin. Try to get that reset. The disc just fumbled out of her hand, as I believe there is it must be a foul call on that throw. Nullacht trying to go the other way, not wasting any time. Definitely separation there. Just a slightly short throw. I think it was Judith Wisney that was on the receiving end for Nullacht. And player arguing that he got fouled on the way. And they seem to agree on that. So that's a nice throw by Barentin as well. Just casually dropping a 60 meter flick back to the thrower. Love to see that. As the disc will come back into the hand of Nullacht. This break would really shake things up a bit for Sesquid. Definitely the favorites heading into this game. And Nullacht ready to show the top of Europe what they got. That's it, Schulte. Finds an underneath. Offhand, backhand. It's a lot of traffic down there, but managed to find Berend, who swings it to the far side. Nice around, but there's a poach block from Sokolski, who goes the other way. You read that like a book. So he's off to the races. And he goes for a lovely inside lefty flick to the end zone. Finds Kiliangwe. And Nullacht will be very disappointed about that, as they could have had the perfect opportunity to get a 2-for-1, because they will start the second half on offense. All right, so Sesquidistus take halftime. We'll take a little break, and we'll be back with the second half shortly. Welcome back to second half action here in Freiburg, Germany. In this very close battle, as this is a perfect pull, pinning Nullacht right in the back of the end zone. This is exactly the way Sesku wanted to start this game. The stall count is getting higher. Tightly covered throw, goes around, continuing that swing. Now back to the middle. Looking for Shave on the inside. It's not there. Goes for the lady flick around. And that's a perfect defensive possession from Sesku. Really putting a lot of pressure on this German side, resulting in a high stall panic throw to the deep space. Now Sesku isolating front of the stack. Nice pop over the top. Looking reset. Nicely covered here again by Nullacht, putting some pressure back on Sesku's D-line on offense. Goes for the round flick. Two players there. One of them seems to catch it. I believe that was Faramelli. And just like that, Sesku takes a 9-7 lead. And Nullacht was so close of converting that break to take half. And then they would have had the offense on in the second half as well. So maybe already thinking that they were going to go up 9-7. But just a couple minutes after, it's Sesku that gets these crucial points in this match to go up by 2. Meanwhile, in the other semi, we got Tisha Taucher up 6-5 against Disconnection. So definitely an interesting game happening down there. Definitely two of the better teams in this division matching up against each other. Both pretty secure of their spot to the EUCF, but still want to. It's the last chance for these teams as well to compete before EUCF at this level. Maybe some players of those teams traveling to Australia next week to compete at the World Championship, representing their country. And so a nice confidence booster is what those teams are looking for as much as anything. Nullacht initiating from our horizontal stack. Got a player deep. It looks like a nice disc. It's a bit far. Can she get there? No. Slightly overshot. She definitely had some good steps on her defender. And this is where Nullacht needs to be very, very careful, because this is the exact opportunity that Sesku's been waiting for to really change the narrative of this game. Initiation from the vertical stack. Got a player streaking deep. Nice holster to get the free under. To go around. Maybe a bit of contact on the mark. Not sure if it's been called. Goes for the open side. Now goes back. Goes back a long way. Siski not making much. And that contested under is nicely defended by Nullacht, as that was a crucial break, or a crucial block to get. It's to go for the up line. It's contested again. Not sure if there is a call. I believe there might be an out call. That seemed to be resolved. Goal scored So was Schreiber again with another assist. Third one this game. Find Philipp Ackermann to stay within one. And that was a crucial hold here for the Germans. Difference between 10-7 and 9-8 is a big one. Siski back on offense. Sokolsky goes deep, takes two defenders with him. Player underneath was open, decided to go for the reset. Nice break there. But intercepted here by the Germans. So they go the other way. All the way back to Grüter. Busts up line. Doesn't get it from Theopold. Goes to Becht. He goes with a big gainer. To Berend. Fakes the inside. Goes for the up line. There's a Poachy defender there. Nice take. Ancelin. Trying to steady the ship a bit. Lebert. Takes the round shot. Sokolsky to Ancelin. Cuts off a cutter from the back. I'd like to see him check that shoulder before he makes that cut. See, he's isolated in the front of the stack. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Up and in. Nice catch there. Goes for that around back to the middle. To Lebert. Stay again. Initiate from the front. Sokolsky is not open. Goes around. Pick is called. So we're seeing a bit more. As I was saying in the first half, it didn't look like Sesquidistus was really sweating too much to get their holds back in. To get their holds in. And this time, definitely some more iffy points for them. The one before half that they just managed to get, and this one is definitely more contested. So it's good to see Nullacht being able to put some more pressure and challenge this elite team out of France. So I'm not sure what the discussion. I guess the discussion is what stall it should resume. They figured it out. So they take Ancelin. This time he cannot make that layout catch. Frustrated with the throw, or maybe himself. He slightly stuttered for a second. Lebert put it up to space with the offhand. And now Nullacht. Just about held on to that disc. As they throw it into another poach. That's the second time this point that happened, and Ancelin wastes no time going to the other side. I thought it was a greatest attempt, or at least it was a greatest attempt. Didn't manage to catch it. So turning into be a bit of a sloppy point, but very exciting ultimate so far. Let's see if Nullacht can punch in this break. So we see Sesquidistus still going with that little trappy, poachy kind of, as we see the first under again, with a bit of an iffy catch, but managed to hang on. And this is a pressure up the line. Just never really was an option. Schulze tried to get there, but Sokolsky with a good block, closing in. As I've never seen that before. not picking up the disc with it when you call time, and it makes sense actually. But Gael calling a timeout while tapping his foot on the disc. We'll try to regroup. We'll take a little break and we'll be back after the timeout. And we are back in action. Sesku with an immediate pick call. And that's an interesting call. I saw it happening that the Sesku player taking a couple steps off the stack, then going deep. Wondering what the exact rule is there. Because if the Nullacht player truly followed the Sesku player, then sure, it wouldn't have been a pick, but I'm not sure if the rule is that you have to precisely follow the person wherever he or she may go. Sokolski was open at the cone. They decide to go back to the middle. Now goes for the hammer. That's a nice looking shot. Good take. There's a little floor is lava kind of celebration. I'm not sure what that was, or a little dance. But good to see some excitement here. But yeah, definitely interested to hear more about that specific call. I've had that in practice a couple times recently as well, where as a defender, you can I'm not in a pick scenario where you already know that this person is just going to clear out to clear him or herself from the stack and then take off deep. If you can just cut that corner, and if someone's in that way, is that a pick or not? Someone rules expert in the chat or somewhere, let me know. You can reach me at in the chat, I believe, or hit me up on Instagram. It's at Benjamin Ort, Benjamin OORT. If you know more about that rule, or if you have any questions about this game or any feedback, happy to hear from the audience. Nullacht getting it underneath, nicely isolated from a side stack. Skinny inside shot. Like to see that. To Greve. Another inside shot. Nicely connected. At Schäfer to I think Kempfert with an stress-free hold for the Germans. Still stay in it, making it 10-9. On the other field, close to here, we have disconnection with 2 breaks in a row now to tie it up at 8. against Tiefse Taucher. So they're doing a good job of sticking with that team, and if they can stay close, regardless if they win or lose that game, it's gonna be probably good for their ranking points. Tiefse Taucher has been unbeaten so far this season. Really seem to be in a tier of their own on top of the mixed division this year, and so yeah, this connection doing a good job of staying close and challenging that German team from Munich. Split stack from the French. Good initiation. Lernaud goes back to Ancelin. He's looking for that inside flick to Barentin. She goes to the open side. Nicely taken. And I feel like for both these teams, it's been. I think the defensive adjustments need to be made at this point. It's the final stretch of this game, and I'm not sure if the tight person coverage that both these teams are opting to go for is the right decision. I think that most blocks have come from either tight windows or poachy kind of blocks, and so I think creating a more switchy, zoney, poachy kind of defense is what's going to be more effective. That will be at least my analysis, but what do I know? Just seems that both these teams are comfortable in the big space, isolating cutters, and I think I would be trying to offset that if I was one of these teams. We'll see what Sesquidistus comes out on at this defensive possession. Still in the lead, 11-9. Again, the predicted score for this game is about 15-13. So that's sort of the benchmark that both these teams will be having in the back of their mind. As we indeed see some poachy zoney look at that same zone look with the three-person wall, pretty much straight up, so allowing Nullacht to swing it around. That shouldn't be allowed. I think that's the kind of passes that they're trying to stop. The ones straight through the middle. They're happy to let Nullacht swing it around the back. And this is much better already, tightening up that wall a bit more. And then it's pretty much a diamond sort of, or another wall three behind that, depending on the offensive positioning. And that's a nice inside shot that really gets the Germans going. And now I think they're transitioning into a person defense. Nullacht still happy to swing it around the back. And they're doing a lot of the heavy lifting here in this point. The AI camera perfectly focusing on the people in the back warming up, which is always good to see. We see them throw nice backhands and flicks, and even saw Scuba. Some are throwing at about 4 or 5 meters, some are throwing about 15, 20. Good variation, always nice to see. As I believe we have a timeout call. Let's hope that the camera will figure itself out after the timeout is ended and we start playing again. Welcome back to the action here. Final stages of this game between Sesquidistus and Nullacht Ultimate. So we see Sesquio O-line back out there. Salon goes for that typical slightly Oyo, meaning outside in, inside out. As Gale takes off deep, fading shot to the left side, only where he could get it. Wouldn't say the most confident hold from Sescu. We're mostly playing around with the male matching players. Didn't really get the rest of the team involved. So, and at the end, sort of not an ideal option to the end zone. So, definitely not a hold they will be looking back on with much confidence, I think. But if it's in, it's in, right? That's Lebert to Ancelan. Nullacht trailing 10-12. On the other field, Tifsit Haugen and Disconnection still very much in good contention of winning that game. Both teams are 9-9, that score. I'll keep you posted of that game as we go along. Again, that's the other semifinal in this summer tour event here in Freiburg. Winner of this event, just like any other summer tour event, will get a direct wild card to the EUCF. I would say for 3 out of these 4 teams, that is not that super much of interest because they're already pretty secure of their spot. But for Nullacht, currently sitting in 11th, that extra security can really be of good help as they go deep. Nice inside backhand shot as the camera is slightly confused, but I think that's going to be out of bounds. Very tough throw to make. And Ancelan crossed over to this D-line to try to punch this point in, so Nullacht needs to be careful here. This break would be of big importance. So we have another great look at the warm-ups of those two teams. I like those purple jerseys in the back, swinging their arms as we are back in action here at the Ultimate Field. Nice offhand leading throw to the reset. Receiver was wide open. Didn't take it. Again, that's that scoop cut that we talked about before. Ancelan goes with the hammer to John. Back to the middle. Ancelan again. Goes with the around. Bit floaty, but nicely taken. Another great around shot. Really continuing that break side to Lachi. She goes back to Mondays. Ancelan with the reset again. Inside shot, nicely placed. Siskus slowly pulling away from Nullacht at this point. If you're Nullacht right now, you are obviously not in an ideal spot. Definitely the odds are against you, but I think you can be having very positive things about this as well. You played this team before, Sesquidistus, in Elite Invite. Didn't really have a good chance there. Lost 15-5 in that scenario. So already putting up so much more of a game against a top team like Sesquidistus. So just in terms of progressing throughout the season, this team has shown um, some good improvement. And also with the current system of the ranking algorithm, they're gonna just try to get as many points here as possible. Just try to stay as close, and if they try to stay close, even if they lose, I said it before, you can still gain points in the ranking system. So just taking it 1 point at a time. It is a cliche, but I do think that is the best answer for this Nullacht team right now. Just trying to initiate from the handlers. That's a costly turnover. Just slightly out of reach. Try to grab it with one hand. I think he could have milked it a bit longer. Go for the clap catch. Just to initiate, as they usually do, Sesquidistus is from the front of the stack. Nice pressure here by Nullacht. Could say their tournament on the line, at least their season. Oh, that's a blown up switch. As this is very close to the sideline, I believe that was inbounds. There is definitely some discussion about that. Nullacht itself is not sure. For my initial, it's unfortunate that we don't have a replay here. My initial thought was that this was inbounds. And that's the conclusion that they've seemed to agree on. That was an unfortunate blown switch. Could see it developing. German defender trying to stop that under, but the defender, the deep defender from Nullacht, not aware of that switch. And now you could say that it's really much the season on the line here. So again, predicted score here, 15 to 11.8. So Nullacht needs 2 more points to not lose points in this ranking system. Sesku, on the other hand, of course, want to put this game away right now. Obviously, they can already smell that final that they want to be in and have another shot at either Tauch or Disconnection, which, by the way, is still tied at 10-10. Disconnection there on Seraph, though, so very interesting to see how that plays out. But again, Nullacht, the only thing they can do now is just punch in this goal. Nice poachy set here from Sesku. Let's Nullacht find our way through the middle. Pop over the top. Little thrower initiated reset, another one. As they don't continue that movement to this near side. Will they go for the deep shot? They will. Exactly what Sesquidistus wanted them to do. I do not like that option. Had a bit of a tunnel vision, I feel like, for his body, number 65. Or number 60, sorry, that was Schreiber. Now Sesquidistus with a chance to put this game away. Inside shot. Got a couple of receivers going there. Not taking it. Nice take under pressure from Kofi. Sesquidistus move it quickly now, as there is an injury call here on that knee slide. I guess who's the first person to step on that field? Gael Ancelin, recognizing the importance of this moment. And really, you should treat this as a universe point win, especially if you're Nullacht. Teams on those cutoff areas are so close to each other, so a single point in a game like this could potentially be the difference between going to the ECF or not. Ancelin with that scoop cut, he gets involved right away. He's on the end zone line now. Goes for the pop over the top. That was not executed to perfection. Would have liked to see a flick there, potentially even a push pass. I think he definitely has that one in his locker. Opts to go for the high release backhand over the mark, slightly behind. And now Nullacht with their chances of staying alive in this game. Find a good gainer. Receiver going deep. They fake it. No, they pump it again. Will she get there? I don't think she did. But even if she did, we wouldn't have seen it. Because we are focused on this wonderful warm-up drill in the back by this white team. Gives and goes deep. Let's put more focus next time in the briefing to not warm up behind the AI operated streaming field. Sesqui, as we are now seeing the actual game. Back on offense, big gainers. This one floats up there, taken by Nullacht. As they get a good gainer on that far side. Nice one-handed grab. As they swing it. Gives and goes. Schenk. Continuous, and that's a crucial hold. I think that was Greve there with another score. Her second of the game. And Anna Comfort, 1 assist, 3 goals. Putting her mark on this game as well. And now we are in a scenario where you could view this as a universe point. Meaning that whoever wins this point is going to go up in the rankings. So there's pretty much 2 separate games going on within the game. First of all, it's the actual tournament game, so who can advance to the final of the summer tour. Obviously, the team that reaches 15 first. But also, the ranking points. So if you're Nullacht, this is pretty much your season on the line. You put your universe point line out there. This is the only point that matters at this point. Let's see what kind of set they'll come out at. I would like to see them go with a little junky, zony look to start with, just to stop that pool play. And then transition into a person defense. As they opt to go for a person defense to start with. Sokolski gets the ender. We'll be looking for Ancelin. Of course he is. Gets a big gainer, and that's 2 passes, and they're already near the red zone. Now they're trying to tighten up the intensity as Sesquidistus just goes for the easy inside to the middle, continuing to the break side. And that's Sesquidistus taking this game 15-11. I really hope that this 1 point that Nullacht didn't manage to get is not going to be the point determining whether they would be in or out. But pretty good result against the top team, so I think they could be reasonably happy. They will take on the loser of the TC Taucher disconnection game, which just ended actually. The TC Taucher won that game 12-10, so we'll have a final later today between Tauche and Sesquidistus, and Disconnection and Nullacht playing for bronze. Thanks so much for tuning in. I've been Benjamin Ort, and I'll catch you at the next time.